I don't know.
Yeah,
you know
and they come and go so fast. It's
Sure.
like they don't develop any of them like they used to. I mean, Tito, when he first started, everything was about Tito. They developed Tito.
He was their poster boy.
Yeah.
And now Dana dogs the shit out of him.
Yeah.
I agree, because if you look at it, a lot of the people that were built back then, the Rampages, the Randy Couture's, the Titos, they're all leaving. And yeah, you got the people we got now, Anderson Silva, GSP, and Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's going to be gone.
Yeah.
John Jones is it. John Jones is the only face I think that they've made. At this stage for the future, and it's because they've not given people a chance. People lose twice in a row, they're cut.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not going to win every fight. No one has. You know what I mean? Even the legendary Royce Gracie back in the day lost the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's I don't know, man. MMA's definitely changing. Some of it for the good, some of it for the bad. We talked about the past. Let me ask you, did you have a favorite fighter back then when you was into it and watching?
I like Randy Couture. I like Eve Edwards.
He's a great fighter.
Yep.
Fighter.
Yeah, exactly. And Randy, just because, they called him Captain America.
Sure, good guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Hero.
Yeah. And
I think he's the Hulk Hogan, of MMA. In pro wrestling, WWF days, Hulk Hogan's just that guy you almost have to cheer for, the American hero. I think Randy was that guy.
Yeah. And he was older, and I don't know, he was just a nice guy. Dana didn't think he would do well because he was older and he was too nice.
Right.
That's when they were promoting Tito, and he thought the fans all wanted, Tito was the Huntington Beach bad boy back then, and he'd do all his crazy stuff, and that's what he thought the fans all wanted to see.
And then Randy whooped that ass and spanked him. I don't know if you remember that in the fight. And this was so not in Randy, because Randy's not that type of guy.
Yeah.
By the way, I hated Randy Couture. I'm a Tito guy. Spank Tito, you know what I mean? But I gotta admit, Randy Couture fought some of the biggest fights in the world. Great draw. It was sad to see him retire this year. Now, I do got some fan questions real quick. I know it's getting late. You've been here a very long. I'm definitely had a wonderful first meeting with you. Rob the Toothless MMA fan Davis wants to know: are you married? If not, will you marry him so he could be Dana's father and whoop his ass?
I like that question. I'm not married, but I'm not married because I don't want to be.
There you go, Rob. You may have a chance, but you're the Toothless MMA fan. I don't know. You're right off the jump. That's got to be you didn't really promote yourself too well.
Yeah, exactly.
I understand what he's saying, though. Part of it, I think what he said in actually the message that he sent me is, I like Dana deserved. Do you think maybe that would be something that would help Dana right now? Honestly, an ass whooping, you know what I mean? Do you think maybe it would take something like that to knock him off his high horse? You got to think something. He's even challenged Tito Ortiz to fight. Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
I wish that would have happened. Tito Ortiz would have kicked his ass.
Yeah.
But you think maybe? I don't know. I understand where Rob's coming from this. Janelle Thompson Frost. She's been on your page several times.
Yeah.
She wanted to know, what was the #1 song at the time of birth? She said it was an inside joke with you and you'd understand.
She had put something on Facebook about what the #1 song was. So
Sure.
It made me curious. So I went back to look and see what it was for me. And I almost fell over when I saw Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer by Gene Autry.
Man, that is hilarious.
And you know what's really funny about that? Is Dana, when he was young, around 2 years old, he used to go around singing that song all the time. It was the cutest thing I've ever saw.
I wish we had that video. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer by Dana White.
Yeah.
MMA Beatdown, they want to know, what's the odds of this? Are you really pursuing doing a movie with this book?
Oh, that's funny. We were talking earlier that I do have a manager, and there is somebody out in Hollywood that's sort of shopping things around.
Sure.
There was some interest right away, and then The Warrior did not do well, and they said, they didn't think there was a market for it. But the book isn't like The Warrior.
No, Warrior was...
It's more like a Steve Jobs type book.
Sure.
someone who comes up and makes something of themselves and builds a business and I never take any of that away from Dana.
In today's reality world, I think, reality TV, I think, honestly, that type of MMA movie is going to be more accepted and sought after than Warrior. Warrior was a great movie, I thought. But the thing about it is people don't automatically assume Warrior's an MMA movie anyway. Warrior, that could be anything. I remember Warriors when I was a kid. It was a gang movie. Warriors come out and play. So my point of this is that, Dana White, the movie could just be called Dana.
Yeah.
And it would probably, I think it would sell. But obviously, before you could do this, I personally think, getting the story out. You know what I mean? I would love to see you have this movie. I would be the first person there to watch, guarantee you. In fact, they can call me up. I'd love to do a part in the movie. But the truth of it is that I think people need to read this book. It's one of those things like even with movies now that have books to it. You have to read the book first.
Yeah.
Because no matter who makes this movie, there's only so much information you can put in an hour and a half. You know what I mean? The book itself, though, has a lot. And with that being said, where can these people get this book? Obviously, I know it's on Amazon. I'm going to post. It's on my website. If you guys want to go click on it, you got there's a link to it. MMAKingdom.com. Where else can they find it? I know you got some websites out there. Where can they find it?
June White MMA. You can go there and click on to buy it. Also, MMA Dana White.
Right.
They can get it there. BarnesandNoble.com carries it. You can actually get a signed book from Barnes & Noble. Once they get the order,
that's cool.
I get the book and then sign it to whoever's bought it and send it off.
I want to do that myself. Honestly. That's you say just Barnes & Noble will do that.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And then all the ebook stores, Smashwords, Apple iTunes, I guess it's through their book division.
Right, so they can get it on their Kindles or whatever they're called now? Okay.
Yeah, Barnes & Noble does an ebook of it, Kobo.
Right.
I don't know, there's about a half a dozen of them.
Sure. With this, first and foremost, I want to thank you very much for coming by.
Thanks for
I can't
having
believe
me.
you're in my house, But, with that being said, any final shout-outs maybe that you'd like to give for maybe any supporters out there? And also, before you go, maybe your underlining message behind your book and what you're trying to accomplish. Because there are people out there that are, to be honest, idiots, that don't know you, don't talk to you, and they just come up with their own conspiracy theories. Out of the horse's mouth, so to speak. What is your reasoning for the book?
Well,
What are you trying to do?
when I first put the book out, and I did pull the book shortly after it went out. It went out in ebook and
Right.
was only there for a short time, and then it was pulled. And that was hoping that Dana would read it,
Sure.
think about, who he's become, who he used to be, who was in his life, and who was important to him. But that didn't happen. Then when I found out that a lot of the nasty, negative stuff online was coming out of Zufa, I was really disappointed then when I heard that.
Sure.
So the book is out there now. It's for sale. I would love for it to become a movie, and maybe, someday in another year or two it might.
Man, that'd be great.
I know. I would like it. And maybe I would use all the people who have helped me and supported me and
I'll
been
do
there
it
for
for
me.
I'll be in the movie for
In
free.
the movie.
Let me be Dana.
have
I'll
big
cut my hair
actors.
bald.
Yeah. Dana at one time was going to do a movie in Southie about the mob in Southie or something, and a lot of his friends there all tried out for bit parts. I don't know what happened. They never did the movie, but yeah.
Great.
It would be a fun thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and to everyone who has stuck up for me and defended me against these idiots, somebody on Facebook yesterday came out with something, and a number of people jumped in there, and I appreciate it when people do stuff like that. Here's some guy who doesn't know me, doesn't know anything about me or Dana,
Sure.
has never spoke with me, obviously has never read the book, yet made the comment he made. I'm like, where do these people come from, and how do they even come up with stuff like this?
Trolls. I mean, internet trolls, and it shows you. I'll say this, and I told you this earlier, on the couch, that I feel that, when you got people that's going out of the way to do this stuff, I feel that means you're making them impact. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether good or bad depends on who you ask. I feel the same way about my work. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, a lot of us appreciate what you did. As a writer myself, I definitely, look at you as a mentor in the writing field. I would love to follow your footsteps into self-publishing and have books out there. And so we commend you for that. And I hope the book sells, it should sell. I've read this book, people, and I'm telling you right now, I read it all night. My wife was mad. I did not go to bed. Seriously. And I read it all night. And I honestly think a lot of people, once it gets out there, word of mouth will get there. I'm down to help you however I can. But the truth of it is, if you're an MMA fan, you have to read this book. We told you where to get it. June, with that being said, I thank you for taking the time here.
Thanks for having me. Thank you for dinner.
Oh, no problem. Next time we'll do something else for dinner. We'll go out. Go on the dinner cruises down the block.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I get seasick. I wouldn't be very good.
Well, I'm gonna come up there up north at some point. Anyway, I gotta stop in Boston and beat DiBiase's ass at some point, and then maybe Bloodstains. Big ups Bloodstain. And then I'm gonna stop up there, man. You can show me some of that stuff that's up there. I know that the East Coast up there, you guys have a lot of food I've never eaten before.
Oh, great food up there.
Absolutely. But obviously, I thank you very much, and I think this has been a long interview.
Yeah.
It's hot. I'm burning up. As soon as you leave, I'm getting in my underwear. That's it. But thank you very much, June, and I look forward to continuing to work with you in the future and moving forward.
Thanks.
Thank you.